have a great and wonderful young man we want you to meet. He expresses his love of life through swimming. Right now, the Special Olympics World Summer Games is underway in Shanghai, China. It is this year's largest global sporting event, nearly 7,500 participants. And one of them is Andy Miyares from Miami. He holds 10 world records for swimmers with Down syndrome and has found incredible strength and confidence in the water.
At age 6, when Andy had already learned his styles, he started really training. And so we started coaching Andy. And it was amazing. He must have been 8, 9, 10 years old. And he already talked about him having to go early to bed because he had to train the next day. He already talked about what he had to eat. And as the years went by, and he started breaking some of the different records in the category that he swam in, the boy became a man and so conscious of what athletes do, all in terms of the time for his massage or the time for his nutritionist, time to work with me on specifics of stroke mechanics. And so it is truly, for me as a coach and teacher, it has truly been such an honor and such a pleasure to have Andy teach me how to teach other young people who may or not have certain disadvantages compared to what we call normal children.
I mean, for us, it was just so unique to see Andy develop as a spokesperson. I remember the first time we saw him in Bayfront Park in Miami. I think he spoke in front of maybe 1,000 people. And he seemed so comfortable and motivational and inspirational at the same time. It was incredible. And then seeing him grow additionally and speaking before thousands of people, 50,000 people in Europe, 70,000 people here in the Northeast. It was just a unique opportunity for him to grow as a man and mature beyond being an athlete, but also inspire others to accomplish what he had accomplished. There really are no limits to what adults with intellectual disabilities can do. It's a great thing, and I think he's been an inspiration for many people.
As of now, it seems that Andy must be one of the most decorated athletes in Miami-Dade County. He's proudly garnered some 800 medals. In that time, he's also broken 18 world records, which is an impressive number by itself. With all of Andy's achievements, I think it sets the bar pretty high for both athletes in the future who will probably break all his records, but for teachers in the classroom and in the athletic venue, whether it's the pool or the track and field. What is important is that we know, thanks to Andy, that these people with a certain disability or a certain handicap are able to be coachable and educated in the different fields of study.
Right now, you're on our track, nobody else is here, and this is all about our training right now. Okay, we're chasing something great, okay? We're not training to get bronze or silver or gold. We're training for one thing, and that's to have the best performance that we can have at a national stage, okay? But I promise you this, if we get to that day at nationals, and we are not prepared, or you have any doubt whatsoever that you could have done a little bit more during training, that you could have tried just a little bit harder, if you go into that race, if you go into those prelims, okay, with that doubt, you've already lost. And the only way to eliminate that doubt is during training. That's the only way. There is no other way. So when we come out and we start running, we come out, we start training, you need to train with this one thing on your mind. Come the day of competition, I will be prepared. And because I am prepared, I will give my best performance. And unless you all believe that, this is all for nothing. This is all a show. Now I know that if I go to every single one of you and I ask you all, hey, do you want to work hard today. I know all of you are going to say, yeah, I'm going to work hard. Yeah, I'm going to work hard. But I don't want this. Okay, this right now is about pushing yourself. It's about you being a leader. Okay? It's about you pushing yourself to what you can do and not being afraid of being tired. It's about knowing you're good, but you could always be better. Okay? It's about finishing it. Because what good are 3 good laps when you've got 4 to run? It's about not making faces. It's about not being a drama. It's about doing what you came here to do, and that was work hard. To be a part of your team.
I've been an athlete. I've competed with people who had tremendous skill, but were just lazy. They just didn't have that desire to be the best that they could be. It's just they got by with skill, And then here I have these guys who have special needs and all these things, and don't have the skill, but have all the desire, have all the guts. And how backwards is that here we are with these guys that are doing everything that they can with so many limitations and things like that, but they just break through it. They go through their limitations. The flip side is you have all these people, what we consider typical, that have the skill and are afraid to put in the work. And it's backwards, but that's why I love doing this. That's why as an athlete, that's how I can appreciate it, because that's what you want out of sports. And that's, as a coach, that's what I feel is our responsibility is to take somebody and make them better than what even they feel that they could be. And I've been blessed to have that. I really have. I have a group of guys that have bought into that. That's all you could ask. It's my favorite part. I've had the success as an athlete, and this to me has been the absolute best part of my athletic career is the time that I've spent with these guys.
Danny, he inspires us not just to become great athletes, but he inspires us to become great people to our daily lives.
He is amazing, like he does all of us.
Congratulations, Danny, the Coach of the Year.
We moved her from a private school into a public program that we thought was going to be better for her. And she had an amazing man there, Coach Cabrera, who actually introduced her. He came up to us and presented it, and we were kind of hesitant at first. But she's always been one of these children that with her brothers that are constantly involved in sports. She's always been waiting for her turn. And we entered not expecting anything out of it. And I'll tell you, it made such a difference in her life. It just brought her out of her shell, and it's been Special Olympics ever since. What you going to do next is the question.
There's nothing the Fernandez family will not do for Special Olympics. 5 years ago when I first met them and I started talking about the 5K race, next thing I knew I got a phone call from Dr. Fernandez. When are we getting started? What can we do to organize this? And he actually kept me on track to get it organized.
For senior high, they are not participating in any Special Olympic event. So the kids there had no idea what was going on, so we took it upon ourselves to take her to her first tournament, and we started, speaking about what could happen, and she would go back with her medals every day to school and say, look at what I did this weekend, And little by little, we have initiated the program at her high school now. In fact, her high school is competing here for the first time. My wife's been involved with them to start up their basketball program, and they're going to start up the soccer program, and they're going to bring it in and give these kids something that they never had before.
As part of the Miami-Dade gymnastics team, the 10 athletes were able to participate in the USA Gymnastics Special Olympics Championships in Georgia this past May. Megan did amazing. She placed second overall against other athletes from Special Olympic states as well as Mexico and Canada.
When Megan moved up to the senior high school she's currently attending, we had not been able to start a Special Olympics program at that school. The Fernandezes got in there. They got a Special Olympics program started at one of the high schools. Not just gymnastics for Megan, but all the sports. The kids are out there playing bocce and soccer and softball and every single sport. And it's been an amazing growth going on for several years now.
Actually, the Special Olympics has changed our life in so many ways. His goal in life is to be a coach for the Special Olympics, and I have no doubt he'll be able to do that. But besides that, the friends that are made, the lifelong friendships that you get from that are unbelievable. Joey tries to do so many things. He's had to undergo various open heart surgeries. He just had one 6 weeks ago, and his goal was to have this done. And he was so excited, he was counting down. On July 1st, he said, "Mom, we're in July, only 14 more days," because then he could run again. It had been 6 months since he could do any exercises. And through all of that, Joseph continues to just thrive and do better and want to do more. He is constantly, if he can run the 100, he wants to run the 400 because he can. The whole school ran next to him, and it was unbelievable. There wasn't a dry eye in the house because he did it. He's a wonderful young man. I have another son with special needs. He's in a wheelchair, and Joey carries him, and one of his biggest concerns was it's going to be a year before he can lift anything heavy, and he just wants to get stronger so that he can carry his brother, because he does all of that constantly. We were in the hospital, and that was his goal. Just getting better, getting home, and taking care of Richard. And he always wants to take Richard so that he can see everything that he does. He comes home and he brings him the medals and puts him on Richard and says, "You know, this is for you." So Joey's a very special young man that has had to go through many challenges in life, not only the great physical ones that he's had to undergo, but the ones at home with his brother, what he can do. And he's had a lot done. He's gone through a lot in such a short life. But he's awesome, and he gives me strength every day. And he's always got a smile on his face, and he always thinks he can do more and he can do better, and he really inspires us to be able to go on and always have a smile on our face. It takes a lot to stop Joey, and even Open Heart couldn't do it because he loves and is committed to the Special Olympics and everything it represents.
One of the things I love about Santiago, his mobility is amazing. I think that's one of his biggest strengths out on the court. He's fast, he moves, he puts so much effort into his movement. It's really exciting to watch him play. He's such a great example of how Special Olympics athletes can actually cross over and compete against anybody, and I think that's so important in terms of what we're trying to do with Special Olympics in general.
Santi has been a part of the John A. Ferguson Senior High School varsity squad all 4 years that he was a student here, and as a varsity member of the tennis team. Santiago was an excellent athlete. His enthusiasm for the sport, his love of the game, really, he brought positive things to the team. The other players really fed off of this. He didn't shy away from competition. He wanted to play my number one. He wanted to challenge him, and week in and week out, he had a spot on the team and challenged whoever I put in front of him. Whether win or lose, Santi came off the court with a big smile.
When tennis season and the tournaments would begin, Santi's opponents, they would see who they were up against and initially say, "Oh, it's okay, yeah, whatever," super confident. As soon as they would exit that court after playing with Santi, they were just completely mind blown at how badly they got beat. And, people's perceptions are extremely different now after seeing how Santi plays and how he acts.
One of the things that's great about Santiago is his year-round commitment to tennis. I mean, he's really chosen tennis as his sport. He's working extremely hard. He's actually in a life program at FIU, which is so similar to the goals that we have for the state for Special Olympics and tennis. You know, we want to make it about more than just the tennis, but about how tennis can impact our athletes and allow them to, you know, to develop skills that help them in their lives, which tennis is such a great sport for that. And Santiago has really exhibited, you know, outstanding skills in sort of leading the way in that area.
Congratulations, Santi!